Hey, it's Rachel from Girl Director, and welcome to our first interview series for Women's Video Revolution. I'm really excited to present this series because we are all about empowering women and we're all about changing the world with video. And so I thought it was really fitting to talk to Natalie Ledwell from Mind Movies. What an amazing woman. When I have a look at what she's done, I am just in awe of all the things she's creating, and with video. So I'd love her to inspire you, write notes, listen carefully at the messages and her wisdom, and enjoy the interview. Hey Natalie, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited that you're here and so grateful that you're here sharing your wisdom.
I'm very excited as well. I actually went on your website and saw some testimonials from Vanessa Amorosi and Mark Holden about you. So I'm very excited to be here as well.
Thank you. And I'm sure that a lot of people know Mind Movies because you've had such an impact in the industry. And this is all about inspiring women about what's possible with video, because I believe video can change the world. And it's certainly you've changed so many people's lives with what you've done. So I'd love you to share a little bit about your journey and what's happened for you, because you've always on the other side of the camera interviewing other people. So yeah, I'd love to hear. Tell everyone about your journey.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, it's one of those rag to riches kind of situations. For a Mind Me, for those people that aren't familiar with what that is, it's like a vision board. So it's the movie version of a vision board. So it's like affirmations and photos and music combined together that actually help create a movie of the life that you want to create for yourself. So basically it's a visualization tool. So it helps you to see in your mind the future that you want to create. The more often you see that and feel the emotions of already being there, the easier it is for you to create it, because that actually puts you in a vibrational match to the things that you want to attract into your life. So you start to attract all the ideas and the opportunities and the meetings and things like that actually help you get there, which is awesome. So we started in 2006 with a very monumental moment of frustration on my behalf. At the time, my husband and I had 4 different businesses we were running at the same time. And I had been a student of personal development since I was 21 years old. So I remember just sitting there looking at all these bills and looking at my bank account and going, okay, I'm missing some vital piece of information here, because this is insane. Like, I'm setting goals, I'm doing all the right things, what am I missing? And then I saw a movie called The Secret, which talks about the law of attraction. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. I just need to be able to see this in my mind, and I don't need to know the whole plan, I just need to know what the next step is going to be. And so I've been obviously living my life with that premise and surrendering to how it's going to show up since then. So not long after that, a friend of ours approached us with this and showed us this little movie that he'd created, which was actually PowerPoint slides, photos, and music. And then he came to us and said, look, I really think we should set up a website with the instructions for people around the world to create these movies for themselves. And we were in a very, not only did we have 4 businesses, but Glenn didn't know how to turn on a computer. We do the banking, and I'd have to turn on the computer and log him in. And I'd never spent any time on the internet. I'd never heard of YouTube or MySpace, which was big back then, and Facebook. I'd never heard of any of those type of things. So we knew nothing about the internet, but we did know that this was a brilliant idea. And so we just, created a little video in our living room, stuck it up on YouTube, had the same keywords as the most popular video about The Secret at the time. It had just been on Oprah, so it was kind of like really good timing for that. And within months, we were getting that many emails from people saying, look, this is completely changing my life. We're like, right, okay, we need to get serious about this. How do we figure out this internet thing?
Yeah. And what was your movie called? If people want to go and check it out, do you still have that movie on YouTube, the first one you created?
My original one, yes, is still on YouTube, believe it or not. And I'm using commercial music, so I don't know how it's still up there, because I'm a big Coldplay fan, so it's still got my favorite song on it. But if you go to the Mind Movies account or the Mind Movies channel on YouTube, you'll definitely see it there. And everything that's in that movie, I've been able to create and more. And I've created a life. I actually call it a pinchable life. because I still don't believe that I get to live this life and reach the people that I do. And I've just spent a week in Mexico as a new member of the Transformational Leaders Council, so hanging out with like Jack Canfield and Lisa Nichols and like all the legends that were in The Secret. And what most people don't know is that The Secret was filmed at one of their meetings, and now I'm part of this group. It's like, it blows my mind.
Wow.
So,
and so what do you think it was? Was it watching your movies that changed that? Was it you what actually was the turning point? So it was you creating the movies that you wanted and doing that yourself?
well, there was a couple of points along the way. I remember the first day we put that video, that ghetto video that we did in the living room, and we did everything wrong. Like, we had the beginning of I Dream a Genie, we had commercial music. It was just like, seriously, it was so illegal. It's not funny, but we didn't know what we were doing. First day we had it up, crickets. There was nothing. But then the second day, we actually made 3 sales. Now, we had no idea what to charge. We charged with, well, I don't know, it's air. What do you charge? Like $20? But with those 3 sales, that $60 was the most exciting $60 we'd ever made. We're like, okay, wait, this is actually happening now. And then we actually bought a program that taught us how to do the internet marketing online. And then the guy, Frank Kern, who actually created this program, we actually came over to the US in April 2008, attended his live seminar, applied and got accepted into his mastermind group, met all these other marketers, became sponges for 6 months, and did everything that we could to launch My Movies to the world. So by the time we got to the morning of the launch, it was the week the economic crisis hit the planet in September 2008. We had $120,000 that we'd racked up on credit cards just to survive over here, on top of a mortgage and everything else we had back in Australia. And I'm very happy to say that our community went from 8,000 to 80,000 in 1 week, and we did a $700,000 week selling a $97 product with no upsells the week the economic crisis hit the planet. So, yeah, I know. It was like, what?
That's awesome. What an amazing story. So, and where do you see yourself in another 5 years?
Wow, well, there's, of course that was our beginning, and we've morphed into such a big company now, and we have a number of different programs that we deliver online. We're certifying people to teach the information that's in the coaching programs that I've created. But now we're sort of looking at, well, okay, this is great. I mean, our business is making a difference and our products are making a difference, but how can we give back? What is our mission? So at the moment, we're working we've committed to working with 10,000 underprivileged children in Colombia. I created a curriculum for the schooling system down there. So I actually trained my first 40 teachers through my webcam into a classroom in the university. And so it's being taught in the classrooms down there, and we're just about to have a classroom in Dubai, and we've got I'm talking to a couple of teachers in Australia as well. So, children the personal development basics, the habit of gratitude and for looking for the best in others and building their self-esteem and that kind of thing. Plus, we're also working with cancer patients. We're getting a funding for a program that we're doing at the University of Chicago. So using Mind Movies to help cancer patients focus on healing and plan for their future. And if they are transitioning, to create something with their families that is actually a tribute to their life.
Wow.
So, and we're also working with a lot of integrative medicine practitioners as well. So the uses are endless for Mind Movies. I actually am just about to do another book proposal with a publishing company here in the US. So talking about how, basically the Mind Movies journey, but how to combine business skills with success principles, and how the two of them combine is really the recipe for success. So yeah, so many things. Life is just like
what inspires me is because being a director, you have your storyboard, and that storyboard comes from your mind, and it's like having this storyboard for your life in a movie form, and it makes perfect sense because it's such a clever idea, and well done for getting it out there, because it's just it is amazing, and everything comes from your mind. Everything's created from your mind. So, where do you see the future of video? Say, let's just hypothetically, really out there thinking. So I like out there futuristic thinking. Where do you see the future of videos?
Yeah, video is where it's all at. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we did a live 8-hour broadcast. It was brutal on my behalf, but it was basically the combination of an infomercial, a webinar, video content, and a TV show, all rolled into one. And I had different guests come in. I had Joe Vitale and Sonia Ricotti and John Asaraf came in as guests. We're doing interviews. We had a certain package that we'd put together for that. But it was an incredibly successful day. And this was all done through video online. You know, we find that a lot of people, when they're watching TV, they're not really that responsive, but when you're watching someone online that you've been able to bring to your videos that already have an interest in what it is that you have to say, and they're already like qualified traffic or qualified people that are registering for the event, then you have a really powerful medium through which you can educate and enhance your audience. You know, we had a live chat box going at the same time, so it's very innovative and very new. And we're always looking for different ways that we can do that. So that's one way that we're using video right now. I mean, I've had an online TV show called The Inspiration Show. It's been going for 3 years now.
How often did you do that? Because you've got so many episodes. They're up to 400 and something, aren't you? That's amazing. That's persistence.
Well, it is. And the crazy thing about this is that I never have to seek out guests for the show. They always come and find me. It's crazy. But the reason I originally started that is because and let me tell you our experience with video, because we very inadvertently and accidentally realized how powerful it was, because back in the beginning when we first started at the My Movies product and then was building our email database, we were also, one of the 4 businesses that we were involved with and how we knew Ryan was through a network marketing business called VM Direct. Now, VM Direct, I don't even know if it's around anymore, but it was video email and live broadcasting. And so what we would do in the beginning, because again, we had no clue what we were doing, we would send everyone an email on our database with just a link saying, click here. No text, nothing else, just click here, and they click on the link, and it would open up to a new page, and there'd be a video of me, back in 2000, early 2008, so like I really, in front of video for the first time, but this is how we were communicating with our list and with our database and with our community, and so every time we would send an email, we were promoting, someone else's program to our list, we always had a big response, like a massive response. And I think it was because through video, and we didn't really realize this at the time, we were building a rapport and a connection. Because people can see that you're a real person. Like back then, a lot of people were still sending plain text emails, and here we are sending a link saying, click here. So even from the very beginning, we were sort of building that rapport. So we got to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to be able to keep a closer communication with our community because it was growing, but I'm like, but I don't want to hammer them with too many emails. How can I do that? And that's when the idea of the Inspiration Show came up. And so it's called a vlog, so it's a video blog where I thought I'll just do different interviews. I mean, I've started to get to know a lot of people, in our community, and like I said, I never have to look for people. 15-minute videos, so they're short and sweet, and they're just a little shot of inspiration. And they're not just the gurus of our industry, but regular people who've come through extraordinary circumstances that have really inspiring stories. That really, I feel that, if they can do it, you can do it, type of thing. So it was a way for us to keep that rapport and that communication going. And I get recognized a lot, which is kind of weird. It's strange, but people are like, in a supermarket, because I live here in LA, like people will see me in the supermarket or in a cafe and, oh my God, you're Natalie from My Movies. But they feel like they have this connection, and it's like they're talking to a friend. And I think that when you're using video, out of all of the tips and tools that I could give you, the number one piece of advice I can say is you just got to be yourself. Like, because when I talk to people, they're like, oh my God, you're just like your videos. I'm like, well, I bloody hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'll get a lot of, opportunities come my way because people go, look, I know I can trust you. And they'll be divulging, different projects and things that they're working on. Where here in the US, they normally get you to sign a release and everything. They go, no, I know I can tell you and I can trust you because they have that rapport that they feel they can get through video.
And do you think the consistency is what's helped you as well, doing the consistency every week, or when you're doing the inspiration show, you're up to 400. That's an amazing effort. Even TV shows don't have that many episodes. So do you think the consistency is something that also helps?
It is. I mean, we have a bazillion videos out there because it's not just the content that we give out, but it's also, you know, everything that all of our programs, they're all promoted through webinars. They're promoted through, you know, through different videos and content pieces. You know, we did with most webinars, you know, usually what will happen is that the presenter will have a whole bunch of slides, so you can hear their voice, but what you're seeing is actually PowerPoint slides that are coming up. And of course, we test everything to see what's going to be the most effective. And we trialed me to camera for part of the webinar, and then slides, or a combination of the two. And of course, that was by far the winner, because people are like, well, now I get to see you. Like, I can see that you're actually talking to me, which is kind of interesting. But, you know, another byproduct and very, you know, added bonus to, you know, the inspiration show is that it actually got me used to being comfortable in doing interviews. And I actually am now the host of a TV show over here on cable called Wake Up, which is like a consciously aware talk show. And our guests are people like Jack Canfield and Lisa Nichols and Don Miguel Ruiz. And part of the reason and actually let me tell you the story because it's interesting. I moved to LA probably about a year and a half ago. And I'm like, you know, I really want to get to LA because I want to do some mainstream media stuff. Like, I think it's time for us to go mainstream. And I'm visualizing that means I'm going to be interviewed on other people's shows. And in December last year, I get an email from these two women saying, look, we want to talk to Natalie about a TV show. And I'm like, yeah, right. You know, that doesn't happen. People move to LA and they work their butts off for years to get this opportunity. You don't just get an email out of the blue going, I want you to be on a TV show. So I ignored the first email. And then they emailed again, no, seriously, we really want to talk to her. And I'm like, yeah, right. So I get on the phone call, and, you know, they were very, very LA to begin with, and, you know, all over the top. I'm like, okay, dial it back a notch. It's okay. I'm like, tell me what your idea is. And the idea was really just to have a talk show, which is similar to The View. So I have 3 other hosts with me, but talking about issues that are relevant to women. How do we have balance? How does fear show up for us? You know, body image, like important topics, and opening up a conversation that's not normally had in a TV format, but doing it in a way that we can hold space for women and, you know, and help them realize that they're not alone. And we all have the same fears and doubts, you know, and if we can open up the conversation, it really helps women to step into that. And it was interesting because I'm like, well, how did you find me? Like, how do you know? Like, and they said, yeah, we saw the inspiration show. They go, we can see what you're like. You're a fantastic interviewer. You're the look that we want. They go, we love the accent. It's so crazy how the Americans love our Australian accent.
I was going to say, how is it over there being an Aussie accent? Because I wasn't sure. I've been over the States a few times and working with a mentor over there too. So, yeah, it's interesting. I wondered how the Aussie accent is over there.
Oh, my God, they love it. I still don't understand, but they do. They love it. And but the other thing too, which was really interesting, is that they said, look, your business is on the internet, your business is online, and we cannot find one bad thing about you anywhere on the internet. So, which is really a tribute to how I show up, and of course I show up very authentically and very real in video, but it's also how we run our business as well. You know, we will always we have a great support team. We make sure that we, you know, get back to everybody and that we really run our business in a very integral way. So, yeah. So TV show. Who'd have thunk it?
Fantastic. And so what I've got a little list here. I'm just going to look down at my questions to make sure I've got them all. Yeah. So with, you know, people want to find you or work with you or want to know more, where can they go?
If you go to mymovies.com, that's kind of like our main website, or you can go to natalieledwell.com. Okay. I actually have an awesome little exercise that I have there, a video and an exercise that I do about taking your power back, especially as women. You know, I'm working with a lot of women right now. We're sort of at a point in our lives where it's kind of like we're waking up. And we're like, okay, We've been a mother and a wife and a career woman for so long now. Now it's like, well, what can I do to enrich my soul? How can I contribute? How can I give back? So that exercise is all about that, about how you can actually do that, which is really cool. So that's NatalieLedwell.com. If you go there, you'll definitely be able to connect with me there, and we can tell you all about the programs and stuff that we have and give you some cool stuff, cool free stuff.
Excellent, fantastic. Well, thank you. And I was just going to say, so what's 3 things, like if you could, in a nutshell, give somebody watching 3 things that's going to change their life or open up their consciousness or awareness, or just give them 3 tips about video, what would that be?
Okay, first thing is that you want to show up authentically. You know, you don't want to have like your TV face and then, you know, your other face. I think the more real you are, the more connected people feel with you. You don't have to worry about, you know, making mistakes. You know, a lot of times I'll make boo-boos or whatever in my videos. I leave them in there because it shows that I'm a real person and I'm not polished, you know. So I think that that's really important, that you show up authentically. People can smell BS a mile away. So when you show up very real, that shines through. Also, choose something that you feel absolutely passionate about, something that totally blows your skirt up, because what happens is when you start to talk about that energy and that passion comes through, and it's so much easier for you to enlist people into your vision and to get them into your community and for them to want to know more and get more of you when you've got that passion. And that actually really does come through. And the thing is, don't start off with, the third point would be, you don't need to start off with anything that's like expensive equipment. I'm using like a $200 Logitech webcam right now for us to do this video. You know, we're on Google Hangouts. It's a free tool, you know, and because we're using Google, which is, we're using Google Hangouts, obviously, which is owned by Google, when people are searching for specific information that you have in your video, you get very high rankings on, you know, on the organic SEO searches because you're using their tool. Now, other than a little bit of, you know, technical, you know, information in the beginning, this whole thing has cost us like $200 to do. Like, that was my initial investment. So you don't have to go out and get expensive equipment. You just need to, you know, do the basics.
Introducing me to Google Hangouts, because before today, I was, we go and shoot our interviews and things in person. So thank you so much for giving me a lesson on Google Hangouts today.
Anytime.
Oh dear. So thank you so much. And, you know, I believe that, video is just real. It's amazing, especially I've been in the industry over 20 years now, and just seeing where video is going now and the potential. I just see so many women can step up and create community videos, create videos that make a difference, create videos that can bring awareness, create videos that actually inspire them,
we need these women. You know, the people that are making the most money on YouTube right now are young guys that are playing video games and with a camera on them, and their whole thing is their reaction to them playing a video game. These guys are making millions of dollars doing that. It is ridiculous. It's all the craze with the kids right now. Tens of millions of dollars a year they're making just from their advertising. We need to get out there and start filling the sound waves with empowering and enriching information. So women, please step up. Whatever, share your personal experience. You know, share your personal experience. Share your life story, because you know, I know that if you've been through the trenches and you know how tough it's been, you can inspire other people to do the same. So come on, ladies, we need to step up. Time.
Absolutely. And the directors, there's so many men directors out there. It's time for women to shine. You've got a vision. Get out there. Absolutely. So anything is possible. So thank you so much for your message, because you are true inspiration in all senses of show, word, and who you are. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to speak to everybody out there and share your wisdom.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me. It's been a pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you, guys. I hope you got some valuable information from this. Isn't Natalie amazing at what she's created? And see, you can too. It is all possible with what you create and what you visualize and the things that you think about that you want for your life. Because if you've got old thought patterns and things going on in your mind that cross-reference the things that you really want in the world, then that's going to stop you from creating those things that you really want. And the next thing is to take action. So when you have an idea, go for it. Same with this interview. I wasn't quite sure about Google Hangouts even when I started. We shoot our videos. We don't normally use Google Hangouts. So I booked the interview and this is what happens. So go out there and create the life that you want. And thank you so much, Natalie, for joining us. And we'll see you in the next time.